All right, guys, so you just got the Hydra player, you're super stoked, and you can't wait to dig in, but you're not sure how to modify the colors. You're not sure how to modify the header, how to switch to video headers if you wanted to, not sure how to change the spectrum color, and so on. So this video is going to focus on just the look of your Hydra player. So what you want to do is go into your control panel, and then go to player setup and Hydra. Right now, I just have an image setup, so I'm going to switch to a video header. I'm going to go here, select video, and I already have one on here already. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the bottom, and then make sure you click on Update All Settings. And then go to the player, and then you want to make sure you refresh your page. Otherwise, you're not going to see the changes. And as you can see, we now have a video header. So how did we get the video header on here to begin with? Well, go to YouTube, and what you want to do is grab the video ID. Now, the video ID is everything after the V equals. If you take this whole URL, it's just not going to work. All right. So you just want to grab this and then copy, and then go to your control panel and then just paste it on there, and then hit on update all settings, and you're all set. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. But in this case, like I said, I want to go with an all white theme. So I'm going to pick a video that has a lot of white in it. Now, excuse me, I am using a Justin Bieber clip mashup thing that I saw on YouTube. So I didn't have much time to find a nice clean white header. So for all your Justin Bieber haters, I do apologize. So I'm going to pick that link. I already found it on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. And I'm going to update all settings and then refresh again. I'm sorry, I'm going to be refreshing a lot in this video. Okay, so now you kind of have a, this has more of a lot of white tones in it, which is what I want if I want an all white theme. But I'm not gonna, I can change the opacity of this video, but I'm gonna worry about that a little later. Okay, so back to the control panel. So let's go ahead and start making changes. So the main color I want is white. Now this is gonna look really bad just because I'm not done modifying it. As you can see, we have, now with this green, it looked pretty good with black, but once you add the white, the green and the white clashes a lot. So let's go ahead and change that. So what we're going to do is, we have some of the text is missing because the text is white. So we're going to go with text color, and we're going to choose kind of a let's go with that gray. Update. And that's looking better. Now you have kind of a darker gray look to it, but now the buttons look pretty bad. So I'm actually going to change the accent color. So this stuff here, the your producer name or artist name, this tab indicator here, the play, all of this stuff is called the accent color. So I'm going to change that to, you know what? I'm going to go conservative here. I'm just going to go with a, you know what? Let's just go with a, let's just go with that. Now, you have to keep in mind too that there's a lot of experimenting going on. So you just have to experiment. So let's go with that color. That looks better than the bright green going on. So now another problem we have is the buy. the buy buttons here. So not the buttons itself, but the text. I want it to have white text on here because it'll just look better. So what you want to do is you go to the buy text color and switch that to white. Yeah, I'm going to go with straight up white on that one. Okay, so now that's looking a lot better. So as you can see, it's coming along pretty good. But now we have this problem in here with the black. Some people may like this strong contrast, the white and then the black right up here. For some people, you might actually like this setup. But as I promised, I'm actually going to do, I'm going to try to make this as wide as I can. So I'm going to go to the control panel. This part here is called it's called the center menu bar. So I'm actually going to go from black and I'm going to go to white. Update. Okay, so now this part that used to be black is now white. Okay, so now I'm going to start tweaking with the header. If you notice, it's pretty dark. So I'm going to try to be consistent and try to make it light to go with the rest of the Hydra player. Now, again, before I go on doing this, there's a lot of just experimenting going on here. So, and it's also taste too. I mean, some people may like the way it is right now, but it really comes down to personal taste and a lot of experimentation. The biggest thing, in my opinion, is to make sure that everything is readable. You don't want to have a header image that completely washes this part out, the text, the name of the beat, and so forth. You want to always have this visible. Also, your buy buttons, you want to make sure that the buy buttons are visible. So make sure, that's why we made it possible to actually change the color of the text. But don't go crazy. You know, you have to have a sense of good design. You don't want to have pink buy text buttons here just because you think it's going to stand out. People know what this buy button is. You don't have to go overboard and turn these buttons into red text. It's just going to throw everything off. But on the flip side, it is your choice. But try to make it as tasteful because at the end, it's all about conversions. And if you have a player that's really hard to read, a player that's really hard to look at, you might turn people away. So make sure that it's either consult a designer or you know, just have just tread slowly on all these different colors. You don't want to make it look like a full-on rainbow spectrum. Just keep it cool. So right now, like I said, I'm going to keep it consistent with white. So I'm going to change the header stuff here. So right now it's pretty bright. And since it's a white theme, I'm going to change the header video background color. Okay, so there's an actual color behind this video. And being that the opacity of this video is set to a lower, you can actually see the color behind the video, if that makes any sense. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to change the video color to white. And update. Again, make sure you click on update down here first to make sure you have all update. And refresh. Okay, so now since I used a white background, as you can tell in this clip, it's more, you can see more of the white going on in certain areas of the video. So a lot of this stuff really depends on what kind of video you're using for your header. So that has a lot to play with it. See what happens when I drop down this video opacity. So it's actually pretty high. So I'm actually going to drop it really low. Okay, so now it's really low. And it might be too low now. But this is actually perfect because I want to show you something really quick. Some people may want this or not. It's actually a little too low. But if you have a situation like this, see how it kind of washes out now the beat title? Then you can change that. So let's go to control panel and then do the header text color. What we're going to do is we're going to go with a kind of a darker gray. Update. Okay, so now this is readable. So now this is pretty cool. Like now you have a header image that's kind of there. Actually, I can probably bump that up because you can't really tell what that is. So I'm gonna bump that up a little bit. Okay, so now you can see a little bit more of the video, but you can also see the text right in here. So nothing is washed out. So now you have a nice, clean, white Hydra player. Let me see what the spectrum looks like. Okay, so as you can see, the spectrum actually matches the accent color. So here, so the spectrum color, use theme colors. So basically what the theme color is that it uses your accent color. Okay, so you have three modes. You can do the theme color, or one of my favorite, what I have as default is auto detect from album art. I'm gonna update that, and what that does is that it actually detects colors from your album art and uses that as your spectrum. So let me see here. So as you can see, it has more of a black and white. So it actually chose colors. Like it uses a gray, a dark, and then the white. I guess it picked up on the axiom here. Okay, there's another good example. It actually is picking up some of the orange. This actually would look good against a black background, but I mean, that looks pretty good too. So I could really sit here for hours and talk about color theory and what looks good and what doesn't look good. But it really comes down to personal taste, and it really comes down to really the different color combinations. I mean, the possibility really is endless. So okay, so and then there was another section. There's another option for the spectrum. This is for the M7 gradient. So for all of you that are coming from the M7 player, it actually uses the M7 gradient. I'm not actually sure what this is what it's gonna look like. Let me try it really quick. Okay, so basically what's happening, I think, is it's using the M7 gradient. So if you go to the M7 playground, see here in this panel, go to the M7 playground, and you'll see that there's a option here to change the spectrum. So I'm going to go ahead and change it really quick to, let's make it an obvious color. Let's just do a bunch of let's do orange. Let's do red to maybe, these are really, really bad colors, but I'm doing this on purpose so you can see it. That's a really bad color combination. Okay, so now when we check again, it should have an orange red. So you can actually change the spectrum to have you can really dig down on the customization of the colors. So I think that did it automatically. Let me just update all settings anyway. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Hydra. I don't have to do anything there. And let's see if it pulls up the spectrum with the different colors that we just added. Okay, it did. Okay, so now you see you have 3 different ways of changing the spectrum color. I think what we're going to do later is build the M7 gradient, or we're just going to call it custom gradient, and then have something like this, like right down here. That way you don't have to go to the M7 playground. Okay, so you can actually disable the spectrum altogether if the spectrum is bothering you. For some reason, you can actually disable it. So now that when you play any beat, you won't have a spectrum. You may have like some kind of a cool video and replace the spectrum. It's really your choice, but I like the spectrum, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep the spectrum. Okay, what else do we have here? We have enable custom orders. So this is the put request custom button in purchase pop-up. So right now, if you buy something, you have the custom request. This is if users actually want to request custom beats from you, or request a certain job, they can do that. But if you don't want that at all, what you can do is disable it right here, and that button won't appear anymore. The minimum budget comes down to, for example, if they want to request a custom and they want a custom request for like $2, then it's going to say budget is below minimum. This is to weed out all the people that want like close to free stuff, right? So say you set it to $100. You're not going to do anything below $250. Then let's see, refresh it. Then if somebody let's see here. What am I doing? Okay, did I just turn that off? I did. Okay, so I disabled it somehow. I guess I wasn't paying attention. So now it's enabled again. Now I have to hit buy and hit custom request. What was it, $200? So now somebody says, oh, I want a custom request for $199. Then it's going to say budget is below minimum, and they won't be able to request something. But if they want something for, say, $250, $2,500, it works. Okay. All right. And then the email address, you go ahead and put this in, whatever customer, this is the actual email address that you would put in. Any custom orders will go to this email address, so make sure you have your right email address on there. Okay, so the next video, I'm going to talk about how to attach YouTube videos to certain beats, because the way I have it, I'll show you. Okay, so this is our demo that's on display on our page. The way I have it is I have a video for each beat. So for example, here's the first one. And I have the spectrum lower. I have the spectrum match up with the album art, so it picks up the brown. but I have a video for each beat. So as you can see, there's a different video on there. And if you have the time to put different videos for each beat, that's pretty effective. It makes everything look really, really polished and really good. And if you do have time to create videos for each beat and you want to upload them to YouTube, cool. All right, so on the next video that I upload, we're gonna talk about how to do that. It's actually really simple. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. And that's how you modify Hydra. All right, see ya.